Oh, how's it going? We're gonna see the last voyage of the Demeter.
Demeter in meter.
Yeah, I wrote this movie.
Yep.
Based on Bram Stoker's Dracula paragraph.
It's not very much.
It's probably not.
Yeah, what?
I know very little about this. I like Dracula as a concept. Obviously, I'm huge into Castlevania.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Castlevania is probably my favorite video game series of all time.
Yep.
We were up yelling so much last night playing football. My throat's a little bit fucked up
in the box there.
The larynx or something.
Sure.
But yeah, swearing at each other, yelling about football. But I watched the Bram Stoker's Dracula with Keanu Reeves and Gary Oldman. When it came out, Winona Ryder.
Don't forget her.
When it came back, or when it came out, way back in like 1990 something.
It was 98, I think, or 7.
No, it was before that.
Really?
Yeah.
93? Eh?
93, 94, 95, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But so I remember it was like
adaptation.
it was before Anne Rice's interview with the vampire.
Indeed, it was.
Which was mid 90s. So
yeah, that's true.
It could have been as early as 91, I bet.
Yeah,
Bram Stoker's.
When you say it like that, yeah.
But I don't remember much about it. I just remember it being dark, and it was like really slow burn.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've read the novel, and in my personal opinion, I think it's a terrible novel. It is. It's just not. Like I was telling him earlier, it's written through a bunch of diary entries from all the various characters and like news clippings from newspapers and stuff like that.
So real quick, I played the Sega CD game. Does he fight a bunch of bats and spiders for the whole time in the book?
Not
the
even
whole book.
Nope.
He just.
It's ridiculous. But like so this movie is based on like a small like a
paragraph. I thought, right?
Yeah, it's a couple of paragraphs.
So like he's transporting.
Yeah.
Dracula's transporting himself.
He's moving over to the New World.
To London or something, right?
No, he's going.
I thought it was to London.
No, you're right. Yeah.
From like Transylvania or whatever place.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And,
Carpathia.
And so he's on board this ship the whole time, and this is an expansion of like what happens, because you hear like from the captain's log and all this stuff, if I remember correctly, like, you know, people are getting sick on board and like this and that, and people are dying and whatever, and this is more. And then there's a news article of a ghost, an empty ship that shows up on the shores. So this is an expansion of that one tiny little segment of that book, and it's a whole movie about it. So
we both saw the trailer from several times now.
Several movies
from other movies. I haven't refreshed watching it. I remember
almost watched the trailer again,
we just about started. I was like, nah, I don't want to, because at least I won't have it all spoiled because of how trailers work.
Yeah, they're bad these days. Gotta stop.
I remember when we saw the trailer, we were like, I'd see that.
Yeah, totally.
So
we're gonna go see it.
Yeah. So
my expectations, if they do it right, it'll probably be. I'm hoping for an 8. I think
it's gonna be a really boring and dark movie.
It might be like a 6, and you're just like, can we get on with it? Like,
I just have a bad feeling about it because I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to it.
I always have bad feelings. And then
you're the one who bought the tickets.
I know, and then I just shit on these movies.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's kind of sad. I either shit all over a movie or I'm like 10.
Praise the shit out of them. Yeah, where's that middle ground? It's been a while since we've done a 9. Well,
I feel like this will be.
8s.
I feel like this will be like middling, like 6, 7-ish.
You think so? I'm hoping if they do Dracula right, according to like
surprised.
Yeah, so. I'll be happy. But like I'm hoping that this is full of suspense and mystery and wonder, and not just revealing what's happening right away.
If we already know that the ship shows up,
yeah, I know that's the
problem. And no one's alive and they're all dead on this ship.
If you've read that book, it's just like,
then I'm guessing that's what happens. So
yeah, it's probably
this could very well be like the beginning of a trilogy or something, right?
Like more
reboot of Bram Stoker's Dracula type.
Could be. It's a weird place to start though, because there's so much more going on in the book in Transylvania in how.
Did you ever see Dracula Reborn? Just kidding.
I don't know if I have. I don't think so.
I think it was. I
Pretty
I
awful.
remember I watched it before bed one time, and I was like, ugh, and I fell asleep.
Those movies will do that.
Yeah.
I did, growing up, love the 90s Dracula, though. That to me is it's really, it's better than reading the book, I'll tell you that. But like, it's very kind of faithful to the book too in the sequence, and
Sure.
and they don't leave anything out.
Gary
And so
Oldman
this
is the
just-
best actor ever.
He's awesome. So
And Keanu Reeves is the most bland actor
he
ever.
is.
So
He's
that's why,
deadpan.
that's
and
why
then
I
you
feel
get
like it's a middle ground movie
beautiful
for me.
Winona Ryder being herself and doing her shit, and she's little Mina Harker and all that.
That's my impression of her. Oh, ho, ho.
What? Out of nowhere.
I don't know. That's my best. It's my best go at it. So.
If I could meet her in real life, that'd be amazing.
Oh, you weirdo.
I'm that guy.
She's
I'm
like
that
60 now.
I don't give a shit, dude. She was my crush growing up as a kid. Like, no shit.
Well,
like,
she's not in this movie, so
I know.
we're gonna enjoy a
Yeah.
movie and get back
Yeah,
to you
hopefully.
guys about it in
Hopefully
about.
we'll enjoy
I think
it.
it's about 2 hours. So
Ooh.
hopefully I get some, vocal strength back. I
Yeah,
feel
we were
scratched up.
betting on some football games.
Not to mention a bunch of hot wings and shit too.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
And then we just had Portillo's, and I just ate a bunch of sports peppers, and now my
hot
throat's all
peppers.
fucked up. So,
Woo! All right, well,
Anyway.
we'll see you on the other side.
boom! Sometime later.
Kick it.
Kick it. Boom. We just saw last voyage of the Demeter,
Yep.
and yeah,
Wow. Yeah. So,
I'll tell you this. Like I always say, I start with I'll tell you this. It came out swinging. It came out
Yeah.
like really strong, and I was like, oh my god, this could be fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then it stopped, and then it's like I gotta sit down and piss on these toilet seats while I text my buddies. And then
I've been on here way too long.
then afterwards, I'm gonna go, I don't know, meander in the yard, and then I'll get back to the fist fight I was having.
Yep. Just hold a second. Yep. Wow.
And then it got beat up by itself. So that's a perfect metaphor of what happened.
So, this is a very dark movie. There are some light scenes, but it's you're on board a ship the whole time, and so it's, everything's lit by like lanterns and shit, and it's just like it's kind of a dark movie. I really loved that ship. That ship had a ton of character.
Personality, yeah.
It was its own character. I mean, it was pretty neat. And
Just the set design and everything was really, really good.
It was like
It
that has
really
to
in,
be, yeah.
Even when they're like loading it, and it's like, wow, it's for a period
some
piece.
of this
It was great.
exactly, and there are a lot of scenes. There's a big scene, and I don't know, it's probably CGI, but like they're at port in the very beginning, and you just see all the ships and shit.
Yeah.
You're just like, that looks pretty damn good, and those are
The
beautiful.
town when they were rolling up to it, I was like,
It was awesome. So that was fantastic.
It's a beautiful movie.
It is
mostly.
oddly, even for how dark most of it
The
is.
foggy ending was crap to me.
Yeah, well, we can get into that.
Fog
in a
came
minute.
over the
So,
place, and then it got
let's
all-
start off with our main parameters. So we had pretty good acting, I'd say.
I think it was great acting.
Yeah, it was
Great.
up there. I especially like the captain's performance.
It's a slasher movie.
It is, but it's not.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a slasher movie. People getting picked off, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
not
that whole like
great.
aliens were stuck on a ship.
Up until the slashing stuff happened, I was like, hell fucking yeah.
Yeah.
It was building tension. I was like, oh
Yep.
fuck, this
Yep.
thing's on board. Like, it killed all the livestock. Oh my god. I was like, this is crazy. Like,
Yeah,
this is gonna get good.
And then
people started making dumb fucking mistakes. Like, dude, let's just go into it.
gone.
We know there's something here that's horribly violent,
No
and let's just
spoils
start.
yet.
Let's just
No
start
spoils.
isolating ourselves, like in every other slasher movie.
Yeah, it's kind of it's
That's what happened. I was
poor
like,
decision making on parts of.
Is that you? Is that you?
Yeah.
Is that you? Oh no!
It is you. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I don't know.
So,
It's beautiful. The acting is rock.
the
fucking
pacing
solid.
kind of got me a
Oh,
little
the
bit.
pacing was not
It wasn't
ideal.
It wasn't.
Ideal.
It wasn't
Say
the
it again.
best.
Ideal.
You got me to say something 3 times. Eventually,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna stay with you.
Pacing was pretty poor.
It wasn't good. There were parts where I was like, oh, my leg is asleep. Huh. Now I'm focusing on that
I
and
started
not the
getting a
movie.
little
And
antsy.
like, I yawned a few times.
I thought
That's
overall
awful
it was
if
a
that
pretty
happens.
boring movie. Overall,
It kind of was. So,
except for the climax, but I didn't like the climax.
no, it was not good.
It was everything fell apart
It did about midway through probably, and didn't.
I would
maybe
say
a
the
little-
last 40 minutes to me
Sure.
was where
That's almost
everything happened where you're like, really? Or you're
Yeah,
like, you dummy.
so this-
or why would you do that?
This movie has like huge plot holes in it.
Oh, dude, it was terrible.
It is
turned
that
into
drop the ring using the Eagles into the fucking Mountain Dew levels of stupid. Like who? It is. It's you know what I mean.
Yes.
It's
We'll get into
really
those
bad.
in a
but
minute
We'll get to that in a minute. Overall, so
just
we've
gets
got
really dumb.
acting, we've got pacing issues. Acting was good. What else? The score was all right. It wasn't anything
serviceable.
super special, but it fit.
No, it worked. Actually, no, it didn't. There's this horrible, sad scene. It's like this uplifting music at the end, and I was like,
that was
"What?"
a little bit.
I was like,
They're
"No,
trying to like ease
that's
this.
not how
Yeah,
that works."
it's not.
Are you serious?
It's not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's really. I don't even know because those are spoilers. We can get into that later. So, I guess do we want to like rate this or do we want to rate it?
I got a little more talking.
Yeah.
We all know that Dracula's in it.
Yes.
This is clearly being set up for like another movie at
It
least.
looked like that.
Was
which
Clemens a character in the book?
No.
Because apparently this guy, I don't know,
He's a
whatever.
doctor.
I can't spoil that.
So I mean,
but
the problem is like all the things I want to nitpick about this movie
Are
are
spoilers.
spoilers.
because they're just dumb shit. Yeah.
It's atrocious. Like
But-
this has
So
such,
Dracula,
Yeah.
he was cool
was
most of
alright.
the time. Sometimes he looked really lame.
some of the CGI. So the problem
It's
with
hit or
this
miss,
movie
big time.
is they blow their load way too early. Period.
You see his
way
full form.
too early.
They don't allude to him.
They could have ramped the horror up. And I mean, this is the perfect setting, the perfect set.
When you first see him crawling underneath that thing,
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It caught
fucked
me
up.
off guard, like, whoa, we get
Oh.
to see him right away?
Yeah, and then it
And
was
then
like
he's horribly violent, and
Now
you're like,
I'm,
oh, shit.
Yeah, because he gets more. He turns into the slasher.
I think what's happening is he
versus, like,
slowly
the
has
suspense.
to get more blood in him to get more powerful.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's absolutely what happens.
But he's okay.
I think the end piece where you see his final form was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. The final
He's
scene of
wicked,
the
and
movie.
it reminds me of fucking Castlevania. Like actually, like ding, ding.
Yeah,
or like
he's a count and shit, yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. So, yeah, there. Again, this movie really kind of, I'm just going to say it right now, it let me down pretty bad.
It came in so strong.
It did.
I love the period. I love
Yeah, it's
everything,
great.
all their outfits.
Yep.
It was the way they talked
The
was
setup
believable.
yeah.
The banter when they're all like having lunch and shit together.
Yep,
I was
just
like,
doing their
that sounds
thing on the
right. Like,
ship
that sounds
and-
like how
Yep.
sailors would talk to each other.
Oh, yeah, for
I was
sure.
like, this is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they got the right actors for the
And then
job,
once it
for sure.
started, I liked the first few bits of being slashery.
Yeah.
And then it just started being like, dude, you idiot, you know there's something killing
There's just
people.
too many-
What are you doing?
No, the plot holes are just inexcusable. They're so terrible, and it's not the choices of the well, it kind of is the choices of the characters,
Yeah.
but there's pieces of logic that are completely like absent.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. From
Absent.
any, yeah, from any like. There's just no sense of.
If I got so bored of it that I stopped like remembering or stopped paying attention. Like I was picking out plot holes because I was like, dude, did this really happen? And you're like, ugh. So then I stopped.
It didn't.
Like
this and
I
that.
probably won't remember them all. There's probably 10.
there's
probably 10 or
What,
more.
issues.
Like straight up plot hole things.
Oh, I've been going one,
Okay,
two,
all
three,
cumulatively
four.
in the last like 40 minutes, it all piles up.
It
and you're
was
just like,
really
oh,
bad. So,
God.
rate or spoils?
We'll rate.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say. I almost want to go through spoilers, but we should tell people what we think. I'm gonna say because it was so strong at the beginning, and then it was just pretty shitty at the end. It kind of just
wasn't
meets
the worst
right
at the
in the
end.
middle.
It was just-
I'm
yeah,
gonna
it-
say 5.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
a 5 for me.
Damn.
Yeah.
A
That's it.
5. All right.
5, man.
5. I can't think of anything else to say about it
Without spoilers.
Oh, the main character is fantastic.
Oh, he's good.
I
He's a good
really
actor.
like that dude.
That's true.
I really like everything
Let's
about
get
his
into
character
that a
being
little bit.
like, you know, he's a scientist.
So
he's got a
doctor,
scientific mind.
and so he's trying to rationalize what's going on with logic and science and stuff.
Yeah, and it was
he's
great.
very scientific, and so and then a couple of crew members are suspicious or superstitious, and like, but mostly everyone's kind of logical. It's in the, you know, late 1800s, 1897, I believe is the time period. So so it's like science is getting some steam now finally,
and traction,
and medicine has come a long way, and all this. So he's a doctor, and he's trying to fucking puzzle this all together and figure it out. And it's a cool little
It's
thing.
a really good premise.
It is. It's
just,
a fantastic
the end is just
idea
stupid.
for a movie, especially a slasher or a horror movie like this. I mean, this
especially
is
to set
the
up, like, a
Alien
trilogy of-
formula, like
Yeah.
the movies. You know, except at sea they can't hear you scream. Should be the tagline for this one. Instead of
All right. Well,
anyway,
we
so
said fives.
yeah,
Five.
so
five.
spoilers.
Five. Spoilers.
Yep. So right out the gate, I just want to bite this thing in the neck and just be like, you fucked up. But like, so he's a physician, right? And they find this girl on board in one of these crates of dirt, which Dracula needs to survive.
So he's stashing this girl so he can feed off her on the trip.
Yep. And so they're digging around because something falls, I think. And so they're like, what's in here? And so they find her, which is stupid because how could she fucking breathe in the dirt?
She's in a crate.
She's
in dirt.
Full of dirt, like this black earthy dirt.
And then
anyway,
dude's like,
she's
hey,
sick.
we need to do a blood transfusion.
Yeah, because that's how they did things. That's how they thought back then. It's better than leeches, but not quite. So anyway,
they use this needle that's this diameter.
So huge, dude. It would just be like. But so to get to my point is he's a doctor and he's like, oh, she's sick, that she's got an infection, and it's like, okay, cool. Did you even think for a second to look at her fucking body? Because later she's like,
bite marks
she's like,
all over.
And you're like, it's just, she's bit everywhere. And it's like, you're a doctor. Wouldn't you look at her body first thing to be like, what's with these bite marks?
Yeah.
Completely like.
Well, maybe out of respect for her. She's a woman, the only woman on board.
She's got an infection. Why does she have an infection? You gotta look for shit. They're talking about rabies, and they're all like worried about that, and they're like, "Well, rabies, whatever."
The thing is, you could see them on her neck.
You could
just in like normal
just a
daylight,
little bit here and there, and it was just like
she was a good actress.
Yeah, she was.
I'll tell you that.
I think that was slash number one. That was a nitpick. What was that?
That's super nitpicky. But
it is, but I was like, wait a minute, you're professional.
I don't know how. I'm not a doctor, but how does blood work? He's giving her multiple transfusions a day. Doesn't it take your body a long time to create blood?
It does. He keeps giving it himself, and like that shit wears you out, and you need days between times that you do that.
I think so.
Anytime you give blood,
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
But anyway, so where does it go from there? There's all kinds of shit going on.
It keeps going down to like, this is how it goes. It always starts with someone at the mast. You're on night shift. Every single time.
It's the same formula.
Then there's a noise. They're like,
what is that? Did you hear that?
And then they tie up the mast. And then they start walking, and then they get murdered.
Kind of.
Rinse and repeat.
It's not quite that simple, but there are variations of that same premise over and over again.
That's where it starts being
the dumb thing.
stupid.
So this ship is really, really big, right? But they eventually discover, they're like, okay, well, we know where he. Yeah,
they kill this young kid in a horrible way, and then you see his face burn up, and then he's a charred corpse in the ocean. I was like, fuck you. You don't have to show me that.
They did, and
they did.
It worked on
it's
you.
It's fine. No, I got it. It was like, this is not nearly as gross as Talk to Me. But
no,
there's a ton
gross
of
at all.
but
it's like
there's not gross at all.
Not
there's
like
tons
that.
Of gross shit. People getting their.
That's not necessarily gross.
It's not gross.
It's not putrid.
But it's not.
That's
it's still
whereas Talk to Me is just disgusting.
People
putrid,
getting their fucking throats ripped out. And shit happens a lot.
So
in
this ship is really big. They eventually figure out what's going on.
It's too big. It's not that big. They can't find him. Okay. Hold on.
That's the problem.
That's
the main problem.
Like, we finally found where he sleeps.
They found his main crate with the dirt that he sleeps in.
We found where he sleeps. His cane, his walking cane is there.
Everything's in there.
And then they have a whole day. He can't go out in the sun or he ignites on fire.
Yep.
And he dies.
Proven.
So, and he sleeps during the day, and they know where his fucking coffin is, and then they're like, let's set up
out the window.
Let's set up an elaborate trap.
It's
to
so
get
dumb.
him at the
It's
end,
the
and it all
worst.
falls apart because they suck at
That's where
planning.
you lost me, because I'm like, now you know where you got him. You got him. Go get him. Go fucking get him.
Right.
And they're like, I don't know where
Crack
he
of
is
dawn.
on the ship anymore.
9 a.m. You got
I
from
know
like
ships are huge.
You got from
but
like 6 a.m. to like
you got all
10 at
this
night
fucking
to
time,
plan to
guys.
murder this dude.
Just take him out.
And at the time they found out, there were still 6 people left
There was a lot-
with
yeah.
guns. Like,
all
fuck
kinds
you.
of pistols and
Oh my
shit.
god.
They're armed, right?
There's a sweet spot where they leave. Where they leave. They like he's escaping from that coffin room of the storage. He's like, oh, this guy's got a fucking. He fell off the fucking crow's nest basically.
Yeah, through the
Bust,
deck.
like whack, whack,
Through
whack,
the
whack,
main-
and then he
yeah.
gets up. I mean, he has a fucked up leg, but then Dracula's chasing him like, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, and he opens sliding doors.
Oh yeah.
Closes sliding doors and then puts a
Bars
plank in
them
to
as if
stop
that's
it.
how you don't you can't. How is it?
Like on the sliding doors.
Well, quickly
And it
bar the
stops
sliding.
him.
It does no.
Yeah, and he gets
it's,
away.
It's really really bad.
And then,
So
hold on, the plot to sink the boat.
yeah, I don't
They
understand.
come up with this plot to sink the boat so they're like, we can't let him ever get to land because he'll just start feeding on London.
No, they make this comment. The girl does like he fed on it like he fed on like every I can't what were her words like
Spit it out.
He fed on everyone in my country.
There was
That's why he
no
has
one-
to come back. There's no one left.
There's
That's
no
why
one left.
What? He
In
just
Romania.
drained everybody? No.
All of Romania.
Also, in the book, there's not such a thing as because they become zombies. Essentially, they get possessed a little bit by him and his power once he feeds on them, and they like turn into these weird like servants of his. And it's like that's not in the book. That's not a nitpick. I think it's a contrived plot device, big time. In this,
It happened a few times.
It did, yeah. And so like they keep using that like crux to like or like crutch, I should say, honestly,
It's totally a
to
crutch.
further the plot. So it's really kind of because people
They
are
come
turning
up,
on it
they're like, we need to sink our own ship and take the lifeboat
and get off and all that.
And then you're like, okay.
So-
and then I kind of bought it, except for when they're saying this plan at 6 in the morning when it's broad daylight. They're like a few hours away from land.
they can see the shore. They can actually see the lighthouse. And by this time, we as an audience know that Dracula can fucking fly.
Yes.
So huge plot hole. That's the biggest one probably.
He's flying around murdering people
He
all the
is,
time.
yeah.
This guy escapes on a lifeboat and he flies out, kills him,
and
then comes back.
Somehow the boat bounces against
Oh my god.
that boat that was out that raft
What
was
if-
headed away as
They're-
far away as possible from that
It's-
ship, and pretty soon it's like
They see
boom,
they
bounces off the same ship it came from. How?
They see land, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, we need to sink the boat, right? It is daylight. And then it starts getting nighttime, then suddenly the ship's like,
Oh
there's a
yeah,
storm.
this storm hits so fast. It is insane.
They're like
2 seconds before
it
that
was
it's
it was like
foggy and
1 second. Yeah.
it literally
and then suddenly
was.
this thing.
And then, oh god, whoa, and then
Maybe
shit
storms hit that quick. I don't know.
I don't know.
It was really.
There was no foreshadowing of it. It was
No.
just like one scene, then you cut, and you're like,
Well, they're like, it's all passive, and they're like, they're waiting to spring a trap, and all this fog starts rolling in from
that's
him.
another thing. It just
Is
like
he a magic user or something?
he's very powerful. He's got all kinds of weird
I
shit
thought
that
this
he
was
can do.
rooted in reality. Like that he's
not.
just a monster.
No, he is.
So he is the demon or something?
He's got some powers.
Oh, weird.
He's got some.
Well, anyway,
shit he
fog
can do.
rolls in, it's all
I mean-
quiet and shit, and then as soon as the first person dies, boom, there's a storm! And, and they're still in like this like 5-minute section of this big final climax.
Yeah. There's a scene where the boy is trapped in the captain's cabin.
Remember how he goes, I can't reach the lock, but the
other guy had no problem.
Clearly,
You know, instead
it's
of
only-
reaching like this, why don't you use this one?
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, the other
It's a
guy knew.
hole, and you
The
just gotta
zombie knew
you gotta
how to
reach this
fucking
latch and unlatch
grab
it. But instead, he goes in this way. No, I can't do it.
I can't do it. It's like, you're an idiot, doctor.
I did think it was cool at that moment when they all saw Dracula and they're like, whoa.
Through the that
hole in
was
the
probably
door.
the most intense part, because he's standing there and he turns and you're like,
and then he
"Oh,
murders that kid. But
Yep.
it is gross. This movie does have some gross shit. That dude bashing his head remind me of Talk to Me.
Yeah, that was
His face
pretty
is all
brutal.
mangled,
It's-
squirting out little juices.
Yeah. There's a lot of like pouring down your face, levels of blood, like out of wounds.
But
it's not just like where's it
major
coming from?
gashes, though.
Yeah, that it's like the wound is open and it's just gushing.
That's
and
a
you're like,
huge positive of this movie. If you like gore, this is well done. Shit.
Yeah, it looks
and it
really
didn't
good.
make me sick like the other one, like
No,
grabbing
it's
eyeballs and
not-
shit.
It's not that level, but anyway, so there's the scene where the boy is trapped in there with Dracula.
Yeah.
He's like trying to get away from the zombie, so he locks himself in the captain's quarters, and then the zombie quits banging on the door, and then he looks over, and Dracula's like in this corner, like this little creepy.
And then he's gone.
And then he like looks over the table, and he's not there, and then but it's like. He tears this boy to shreds, kind of, but anyway. And then they finally get in there. They see that through the hole in the door. They see Dracula, and they're like, "Oh, get in there," and whatever. And then where did he go?
That's what I'm saying. That happens multiple times.
It's
when he
stupid.
kills a guy and they catch him, and it's a small confined
Tiny
space,
spaces on this
and he's
ship.
gone.
And he disappears somehow, and it's like there's no other way in or out of that room, and he's just gone. So like
Dracula, you
Why
notice
are
how
we even-
lethal Dracula is? He
He's
just
fucking
flies out of
awful.
nowhere, like bam, you're dead.
Yeah,
like
well,
rips your throat out instantly.
He's nasty. Man.
He should have just fucking.
He could have literally.
No, he needed people to pilot the ship. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I
he
guess
can fly
there's
though.
that.
So whatever.
But he was weak in the beginning, which doesn't make sense because he's not. In the book, he's just not weak at all. Like, why did they make him seem like a corpse that needed to be regenerated, like the mummy? You know how the mummy takes forever to just fucking.
Yeah.
It was that where he's like, I'm more blood, and then pretty
He
soon
started
he's
feeding
got
on
wings and
livestock
shit, and you're like, holy fuck. He is pretty scary, I will say that, but again,
Until you see his whole body, and
then you're like, well, it's a
that
monster.
CGI kind of
It's-
sucks.
It wasn't that great, but it wasn't bad, and I liked the character design. The model was good.
That was all right.
You know, and I thought, but like, again, they absolutely show you too soon. They show you.
Oh yeah,
what,
like you said, blew your load. Like it was probably 20 minutes into the movie.
yeah, you're like
half hour into the movie.
And in a couple of the ways that they showed him, I was not impressed.
Right.
They made him basically you're watching Gollum run around.
No, it was.
And I hate
The
Gollum.
fucked up
Gollum's
thing
a
is,
moron.
he looked like he was regressing. He looked
Sometimes,
he
yeah.
looked more like
Yeah.
a human when I first saw him than he did the last time I saw him. For real,
Yeah.
he had like more teeth now.
He's more bat-like, and
Yeah,
he's
he's
more like all
got
that
wings,
stuff.
and then
Yeah,
you see him at
he's
the
wicked
end.
looking at the end.
You see him at the very end, and he's like kind of human-like and has a cane.
So,
and
and that's really dumb because it's like they should have kept him more. It's like the Ninja Turtles getting in trench coats and walking around the city. You know,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
people are gonna notice that your skin ain't right. They're gonna be like, he's got the plague or something. But like, they should have made him more human. They should have put like an actual human face on him because he is essentially like that's his main guys that he.
Yeah.
You only see the monster of him in the book like a handful of times. His transformation, what he can be or what he really is. Otherwise, he's always just a man. So. So yeah, I don't know, and it ends on this girl who's been infected the whole time.
Ignites on fire and dies.
The main character and her are the last people. The ship runs aground.
Plays, while she's burning at the stake, basically it plays some beautiful music.
This harmonic, like
Soothing.
because the sun's rising and she's infected, so she's gonna burn up, and then it just shows her. It shows her burning, and it's like,
I still can't believe we gotta sink the ship.
It didn't make any sense.
He goes down there with an axe.
I'm gonna poke a hole in the
and
fucking.
then Dracula's
hull.
right behind him and kills him, right?
Yeah.
And then dude's exactly right behind him in this tiny little area.
Yeah, like,
and he's like, "Whoa, buddy!" Oh. And he's good. And then he grabs the axe, and then it's like, Dracula, that was your chance to kill him.
You could have killed everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like, well, I killed one guy. I gotta take a break.
More of that same stupid shit at the end. He holds him up. Slices.
Oh yeah, dragging
Letting
it
the
out.
girl set up this huge trap to
so
smash him.
bad. It's bad. I almost want to give this movie a fucking 4.
I think it deserves a fucking 4.
You think so? Should we redact?
No.
We can't do that.
It's well done.
It is. There's a lot going for it.
It just kind of falls apart.
Bad.
Honestly, I would watch
Really
a
bad.
part 2, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It had me going.
It had me going. It's a 5.
It's an average, I'd say.
We don't take shit back.
No, but like
the more
we talk about it, I'm just like, there's just more things I didn't like about it than there were that, and so it's like tipping
I'll give
away.
you that.
But again, the set was great. The ship had a ton of character. It felt
if you
like a real place.
live in reality,
yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's too stupid at the end.
It is.
It is. It's
the plot holes are just so
we're
dumb.
missing like 5 or 6
there's a lot.
major ones.
I mean, he didn't even have to kill those people. He could have just been like, I made it to shore. Thank God. I'm Dracula.
He didn't have to fight him at that point.
Didn't have to do anything because you could see the fucking shore. He could just fly there.
You could see it hours before they planned the trap.
I know. Or we're going to sink the ship this close to the
and the storm. You know, it was hours before dark. And then they're like, see the shore, like, oh yeah. And they don't see the shore with a fucking telescope.
No, it's naked eye.
Like,
I mean,
you
you're
see
right
the whole
there. You can see the cliffs and everything right there.
You can see the lighthouse, like, clearly.
You can literally
it
see
can't be more than a mile.
It's not that far away.
For real.
No.
Maybe
he can glide.
It's on a cliff, so maybe it's 3-4 miles.
It could be far, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, England's got huge cliffs.
You're in a fucking sailboat.
Yeah, it was beyond stupid in some parts and also well done in other parts. So it's a mixed bag of shit.
Yeah, it's mixed. I think it's definitely a 5.
For a horror movie, was it worth it?
No. Here's the thing. The jump scares. It was just jump scary, but they weren't even jump scares.
They weren't good enough to be jump scares.
They weren't like kapow. They were like, and there he is. Oh, now he comes at you.
Yeah, like I would say the scariest part was in the fucking cabin or in the captain's quarters when they're looking in there and he's like turns to them. That's scary. And then the part where the boy looks over the table, he sees him crawling or whatever. I
think the first kill. The guy who had his knife, he's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah,
and he's like, all you see is like,
pretty good too.
All you see is like his face and his shoulder, like a little bit of lights on it, and he's like, eh. And he's waiting because he's super weak, so he's waiting for that dude.
I don't know why, but yeah,
he's waiting for that dude. Yeah, he's been feeding off that girl the whole time. But anyway, he's waiting for that dude to get closer so he can lunge at him and chop his fucking throat out, and then yeah, that was cool. And I was like, whoa, dude, it wasn't scary though. It was like really good imagery though.
Yeah,
but we better wrap this up. Anyway.
Yeah, sure. So 5.
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't. Don't waste your money.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it.
I don't think
so. Go watch Gran Turismo.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Go watch fucking Oppenheimer. Go those are 2 outstanding movies that blow the... Barbie kicks the shit out of this movie. So, there, I said it. I mean, there's other things to do with your money and your time.
That's correct.
This is not
one of them.
This is not it.
It felt really long, and I was bored.
It was. I literally yawned, so that's bad.
I yawned a couple times.
Fucking stupid.
I was like moving my legs around, getting
I was like, oh god, my ass is falling asleep.
And those were actually more comfortable seats than the movie we watched yesterday.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So, but anyway.
All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
See ya.